has a magnet on the top. This is the base where they hit it in the morning.
Phone slides in, the student keeps the pouch, but a teacher makes sure it's locked until the final bell rings.
I really think it's about being present and engaging in the adult that's trying to teach you, your peers that might be in your small group.
Every student at San Mateo High School is assigned the Yondr Pouch. Like a textbook, they're responsible for it year-round. The SF-based company is on a mission to create phone-free spaces. Teachers here say they want the same thing. Fearful students are too attached to their phones.
I likened it to a student who is dealing with tobacco or drug addiction. They need to have this in their hands. They need to be engaging with it or they don't feel whole.
Every classroom has the unlocking device in case of an emergency or should a student need to access their phone.
We've gotten all 1,700 students unlocked with a matter of minutes.
So this is phone usage per day before Yondr. How many messages did you get? How many times did you check social media? How many hours did you spend on your phone? How would you describe these numbers?
Big.
Surprising.
Excessive.
A little too much.
So despite the initial panic from students, at least these four admit there are benefits to a phone-free school.
I remember like sophomore year, I tried to get my followers up like every day, just check my followers constantly.
You're just constantly comparing yourself to other women on your feed, and it definitely takes a toll on your self-image.
Just this week, teachers say they already see the difference.
See, everyone else was talking and socializing and eating lunch together, and that's what I was not seeing enough of when the phone usage is at its worst.
Stuck under his car. And like, who knows how long he was driving. I saw him pull out of the parking lot and turn right, and the box was still stuck under his car. So who knows how long he was driving with that box under his car. I like bet he got home, he pulled into his driveway.
Out in the sky. I'm not. Wow. You're like, it's not.
I don't think it's real. I don't think it's
maybe
real.
I see the lineup for cars. Getting wasted. The Empire State Building is like really close to it, so it's a good.
And I did best with what was in my hands. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kevin. Happy birthday to you. Yeah.
Because me, I'm at the point where it's like, I want to feel and be in the moment. And, you know, it's a completely different experience than when you're like this, right? But at the same time, you want to capture it so everybody else can see how amazing it is. So I read that in your tour, you encourage people to absolutely get rid of their phones.
We at your seat, there's a pouch that you have to put your phone in. And you put your phone in the pouch, and the pouch locks. And it won't open until you get to the door.
How does that work technologically?
It's this company called Yondr that specializes in this.
And wait,
so you have your phone.
Yep.
And you just, so it's not like you don't have your phone. And if it rings, you know it rang, but you have to walk to you can't.
And it'll automatically open when they get to a certain place?
When you get to that door, they have this thing that you rub the pouch against, and it opens up.
Does an usher come by and check and make sure the phones are in the pouches?
Yeah, they go through, and it's a better show, man. people really
Pay attention
there.
and they're
And not only
emotionally
do you pay
connected with
attention,
you.
like you forget you want to break from your phone. You don't even realize it.
Right.
You know, you want to break. It
That's an
feels
addiction.
good.
It's not like it's a good feeling to be on your phone all the time.
It's not a good
It's just
feeling.
that's what we do.
But we're
Yeah.
conditioned. We can't let it go. We can't miss a minute of anything that's going on. So that's what I'm telling you. I had in Rosenberg, I was dancing and screaming till like 6 a.m. at Dave's party, and I had the best time. And I forgot what it felt like to just feel it
and just talk about it the next day instead of just posting it.
It's a constant battle for parents and teachers. Children being distracted and at times completely consumed by their phones. Well, now there's a new tech-savvy technique coming to Queensland schools.
Fed up with students using their mobile phones during class, one southeast school has come up with a method that puts the mobiles away but keeps the kids, teachers and parents pleased. It's a lockable pouch. Sounds simple, and it is. Once the student's phone is inside, it's sealed with a magnet on the way through the gates and unlocked on the way out.
We were very aware of some of the issues we were dealing with in our school with teenagers and social media.
Corinda State High School, the first and only school in Queensland to use the pouches from US company Yondr. The goal at the start of the term, silence the distraction and dial up focus in and out of class. It's working.
It makes us socialise more with our group. I definitely think the culture has changed.
All up, it cost the school roughly $20,000 and parents, not a cent.
Initially, we were a bit hesitant. Isaac's now tried it and he says it's great.
I think it's a good idea. I think phones are a big distraction in the school ground.
The Education Minister is a big supporter.
I think it's a great idea that other schools may pick up.
But for now, she can't make the call to introduce the pouches statewide. It's up to the individual principals. Alex Sankey, 9 News.
Socialising over lunch, their eyes not fixated on a phone screen. Rivers Secondary College Lismore High Campus is getting tough on technology.
We've done it in an attempt to try and reduce the negative impacts around social media and also to take away from the negative impact it has on kids engaging in class.
Using these special pouches, their devices are electronically locked as they enter the grounds and unlocked as they leave.
I remember on the first lunchtime we all had our phones out in the pouches on the table that we sit at, so it was quite funny, just like the habits that we got into.
Students surprisingly supportive of the move, which started only a week ago.
It gives me an opportunity to actually engage in classwork and not get distracted.
And outside the classroom, the impact is clear to see.
Quite amazing, really. I actually went around to staff rooms and grabbed staff and said, go out and have a look at this. You know, you're not going to believe the difference that this looks like.
Following in the footsteps of Warhope High School, these neoprene pouches are becoming a familiar item in the state's schools.
It is kind of a trust-based system because you could easily just have your phone out and look at it, but really if you're that desperate, it's a bit like, I feel like not many people would do that and then like try to sneak around in the toilets on their phone.
Yondr Pouch, NBN News.
So we will be here next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. Yeah, to implement the policy with students. If you want to see firsthand, come at the closing of the school time when me and Dave from Yondr, we will be here, and we would love to talk to you in person if needed. And you have any questions, just feel free to ask us anytime.
I'll just jump in and say something. It's Sandra Rosen here, the principal. Look, I just see a question there about social anxiety has been raised. Has school considered this? Certainly if that's a medical issue, that's something we talk about again on a case-by-case basis. If a child is so socially anxious that they need to have contact with a parent on a very often basis, then they can't be in the classroom anyway, because the classroom cannot have that disruption. The main thing here is we're trying to make sure that the kids get the best education they can. I just want to say something in a personal sense. Some of you may know that I was principal of Tenterfield before I came here. And when I got to Tenterfield High School, the P&C had put together a policy that there would be no mobile phone use in the school. And I just come from a school in Armidale, which is very similar to this one in Alstonville, highly aspirational, quite a mix of kids. And a lot of kids are spending a lot of time on their phones. And as deputy there, I was spending an awful lot of time dealing with Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and look what they said to me on the weekend and so forth. And I got to Tenfield and thought, the parents have said that they want this policy. And all of the kids would come into the school, they'd have their phone in their hand, they'd turn it off during the day, they'd have it away all day, and you'd see them get it out at the end of the day. And those kids would talk and socialise, look at their teachers, listen to each other. It was fantastic. Now, that was a much smaller school than here, and it was a much easier thing to be able to do that. Everyone knew everyone. Now, all of the schools on the North Coast just about are putting in Yondr, and that's going to be a really wonderful thing. I know that change is scary, change is difficult, but these fellows from Yondr have put these pouches in place in some of the most interesting schools I think you'll find in America. So certainly they've been well tested, and it's so that we can get your children the absolute best education they can. We will not put their health or well-being at risk whatsoever, but we will be taking smartphones out of the equation where kids are looking at a device or waiting for a device to light up instead of listening to their teacher, being creative, being collaborative, being cooperative, because we need to make them the best possible citizens they can be and give them the best possible academic education. So that's where we're coming from. Thank you.